You're going to show up and you're going to show out today. Why? Because you're going to be present. That's right. And you're going to win because you're going to show up and be present. That's what we're dealing with today on January the 16th, 2020. Hit that subscribe button if you hadn't already. Athletes, listen up. Churchgoers, listen up. Those who are sick, listen up. Those who have sick loved ones, listen up. This is a message for you. Church is in the building. Church is now in session, folks. Presence, that's the ability to show up at a particular time, folks. Now, why is that important? Well, we know that we must show up in order to get the job done. We must show up to bless someone else, even when we don't think it's important, even when we don't think that we matter. Let's give a few examples. There are a lot of people in the hospital right now that are sick, and all you loved ones have to do is show up. When speaking on family and friends, maybe co-workers, things of that nature, all you have to do is show up, and the rest is history. Show up and they will feel better, possibly get off of that deathbed. Why so? Because when you show up, you can give someone encouragement. Many people believe that, well, I'm not the doctor, I'm not the nurse, I can't give any diagnosis, I'm not licensed to do anything, therefore I can't do anything and nothing will change. That is very, very false, folks. When you make an attempt to show up at that hospital or at the doctor's appointment, they will feel a whole lot better. How about those that are athletes? What about those who have young children that are in sports today? And they're saying, well, I'm not getting a lot of playing time right now, so it may not even matter if I show up to practice. When you show up, you give the team strength. You can show the team things that they may not see on the field or on the court by your presence. It really, really matters, folks. What about those that are in church that say, well, you know what? There's no sense in me coming to choir rehearsal or Bible study, anything like that, because I'm not participating at the moment. I'm not teaching a class, so therefore it doesn't matter. Well, other people need your support. They may be going through something that you may have already went through, and just a few words, maybe outside of the lesson, maybe in the hallway or in the lobby or at the potluck dinner, will be all the difference for that individual, or people, I should say. So it's very, very important that you just show up. Also, showing up will help you if you're dealing with something and you haven't been going in a while, whether it's church or meetings in the community, or whatever the case is. A lot of time, if you just go and think positive, great things will come from that, and then you'll get in a habit, and you'll grow from there. There are many others I can think of. What about in business? This is a powerful one right here, folks, because we are doing some big things in the community, building some businesses, and building a project and a program, I should say, to where you can make money not even being at a particular location. That's something that I'm attracted to. I'm not really attracted to being at a place that whether somebody owns a laundromat. Well, that's one that you don't have to show up, but maybe a fast food restaurant and all these things that where someone have to be present. I am big time on that, but you have to show up, folks, when it comes to doing the work. When it comes to putting in the work and reaching out to folks, you have to show up. A lot of times, folks don't show up. They don't show up, and then they're looking for a big outcome. How do you show up? You show up by reaching out to the community. You show up by doing your videos. You show up by doing your research, whatever brand or product that you're trying to sell or service that you give. You show up by looking at the competition in the area. And of course, we shouldn't be competing, but we should be creating. But you show up anyway. You do all those things so you can win. It doesn't matter where you're at right now in life. It doesn't matter whether or not you have all the funds and the means in order to make it work at that time. You show up anyway, and you show out, and you become successful. Here's a big one right here, folks. We can go back to that 2006 finals. Dallas Mavericks versus the Miami Heat. Now, Miami is one of my favorite basketball teams with Dwayne Wade, but Shaq was in on this one, folks. And Shaq, I believe it was game 2, where he only hit 5 points, and I think they lost it by 14 in that game. I'm here to say, folks, Shaq's presence mattered. Many say the game was rigged. Many old heads I talk to say they can go out and hit 5 points on their disability. Many with back problems, leg issues, old men in their 70s and 80s said that they can go out and hit more than 5 points. And they're probably 5 feet tall, or maybe a little over 5 feet. But the moral of the story is his presence mattered. Now, they didn't win that game. They went on to win 4 straight. And that game pretty much set the tone for those that followed. His presence mattered, didn't he? Your presence mattered too, folks. If you're a family member and you don't have much to say, your presence matters. You must show up so your family can get better and do what they need to do in order to win and be successful. I want to read a quote to you by someone by the name of Molly Marty. She said, "Let others see their own greatness when looking in your eyes. Let others see their own greatness when looking in your eyes. When you show up to someone that's not doing well, they can get the encouragement that you give them and understand that they had the power all along to get out of that sick bed, to get out of that rut, maybe if they're in sports and they didn't do so well that game, to get out of the fact that they're failing in business, maybe no one bought anything from their store, or to get out of the ability that maybe they didn't do well as a parent that day." That's right, there's some parents out there that just don't feel like they have it. Maybe financially they're not where they are. But fathers, listen up. Your presence matter in your sons and daughters' life. Just being there for them. Now, of course, we know that you have to get the money up and all the other things. The physical must be important as far as keeping yourself going. But just showing up, your children will be able to see their greatness looking into your eyes. And, of course, the conversation will come on later, the ability to take them somewhere. But just start small, folks. Show up and show out. Hit that subscribe button if you hadn't already. Share the video and join the channel. Resolution Race 2020. Dante D. I'm signing off.